Hello everyone, today we continue learning Python and today I will talk about for loop and about a little bug inside of that for loop. So let's start. But before we start that video, I recommend you subscribing to my Telegram channel. You will find lots of materials, modules, libraries, examples and tasks on Python in my Telegram channel. Also, I post all the announcements there, so if you want to understand what will happen to the channel in the near future, you can go here. And I respond to comments much faster than I do it on YouTube. So subscribe to my Telegram channel, link in the description down below. First of all, I will not make videos about simple topics in programming because they are simple and there are lots of videos about them. I want to make videos about interesting topics for me and for you. And today I'll make a video about for loop. So everybody knows about for in Python. For I in range 3, print I, for example, and we will see 0, 1, 2. So 0, 1, 2, because we go from 0 to end minus 1. So 3 is end in our case, and 3 minus 1 is 2. That's it. And another thing that we know is that we can iterate through a list, for example, through every iterable, actually. For I in A, let's print I, and as you can see, 1, 2, 3. So we get items from our list A. Now I want to ask you a question that somebody asked when I was looking in my comment section. So what will happen if we have for I in range 3 and then we'll have for I in range 3? So we have two loops, so we have one loop inside of another one, and we'll have one variable, so we have I variable inside of both loops. And let's print that I. What I want to tell you is that with that program, everything is fine. Okay, I understand that you will not make these loops, but you make for I, for j, and you should not really make these loops because it's not how programming works. You need to follow the rules, and if you make for I and for I, it will be bad for you, for your code, and you'll not understand anything. But again, that's just a question that somebody can ask you. And what will happen? Actually, we'll have a normal loop. So as you can see, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. Why? Because we need to talk about for in Python. So what for in Python means? For in Python is actually for each. What is for each? Let's make an example. I will give you an example from C++ language. So for example, in C++ we have for integer I equals 0, I less than 3, and I plus plus. And what you can see here you can see a variable creation. We have that variable creation in Python. Then you can see, let's go to increments. We have increment and we have our condition. But we cannot see that condition in Python. We only have conditions inside of while loops when it comes to Python. But in for loops, again, we don't have them. For loop is just a for each in Python. And what really happens when we run that program? By the way, we have only one variable, so what I can do is run debug. Let's go right here, debug, and let's go to debugger. As you can see, we have only one I variable. These are not two separate variables, it's just one I variable. But what really happens is that we use for each. And with for each, we need to have an iterable. Iterable, it's an object that we can get iterator from. Iterator is design pattern that helps us to get all the elements from our object. So for example, if you have list 1, 2, 3, then you write for I in A, you use iterator inside of a for loop. So you use it implicitly, but still you use it. And iterator helps you to get all the elements from A list and give these elements to I variable. That's it. So again, we use iterators inside of our for loops. And in our case, iterator it's range. If we run print, let's print range from 3, let's run it. Okay, we see range 0, 3, but we can go to range and we will see iter function. Iter function, it's a function that defines that your object, in our case range object, is an iterator. So we can get elements from our object. And what really happens is that we get elements from every iteration of our loop. First of all, when our first loop is executing, what we get? We get 0 from our range. Then, when we go to that loop, our I is now 0 again, because we just simply get values from range. We have no condition inside of our range. we just inside of our for loop, we just simply get values from range. So we get 0, 1, 2 right here, and we get 0, 1, 2 right here. Everything is normal with that code. But again, it's just a question, and you don't need to use for I and for I inside of your code. You need to use different variables like for I in range 3 and then for j in range 3. Because that's how programming works. You need to follow the rules and you need to use different variables because it's better for everyone. You'll have lots of problems if you use the same variables everywhere. And yeah, that's the simple thing I wanted to tell you about. So again, if you don't understand, for loop is for each in Python. So we don't have condition inside of it. We get values from range. And inside of range, these values are static. So if I write range 3, I get 0, 1, 2 only. It does not matter what I variable is right now. We get 0, 1, 2 because of the range. And actually, that's it. So we don't have condition, and because that we get 0, 1, 2 right here, and we get 0, 1, 2 right here. And subscribe to my channel if you like that video. Tell me if you want more videos on these small but interesting topics in Python, and good luck!